Hi, you guys. Welcome back to my channel. My name is CrissyJ. I do want to invite you to go ahead and subscribe for good vibes. I think you'll love it here. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back to another video. So, as promised, as you've seen in the title, we are going to do a Carnival cruise recap and my opinion and my take on the cruise and what I liked and did not like about the cruise. So, if you didn't know, I went on a 6 night, 7 day cruise, Caribbean cruise on the Carnival Horizon, and we went about a week before Christmas. We came back on the 22nd. We ported from Miami, so we went to Ocho Rios, Jamaica first. Then we went to the Cayman Islands. And our last stop was Cozumel, Mexico. And then we headed back to Miami. Now, okay, let's just say I don't think Carnival. I'm gonna say I don't think cruising is for me. Um, Carnival is the only cruise line that I've ever cruised on. This is my second cruise. The first one was a 3 day cruise to the Bahamas. Also, it left from Miami, and that was okay. Um, I think 3, 4 days is the max for me, and the reason is after a while, after like the fourth day, I realized it felt like I was just sharing a big house with a bunch of strangers, and I was seeing the same people over and over and over, but I didn't know them, if that makes sense. Um, I was tired of like there always being in line for the elevator, always being long lines to eat. The food to me was not good to me. I was like, dang, how do people go on these cruises and gain weight? Because I was literally just eating because I was hungry. Like I had to eat when obviously I had to eat. But as far as like just eating because it's just an overflow of food, no. No. Um, it wasn't all that to me, y'all. Like it just it took you like 2.5 days to really like feel your way around the ship, to really like know how to navigate your way around. So for the first 2 days, we did a lot of walking in vain. Okay. Now I can always use the steps, but it was just a lot of walking, having to like, especially if you wanted to get somewhere and you were on like a time crunch, it was frustrating because you would go all the way on one side and they would be like, oh no, you have to go back, go down the stairs, and then go to the elevator and then go on the other side to the front of the ship. And I'm like, my God. So that was one of the things. It was just a lot of people. And after a while, I was kind of like tired of being around so many people all the time. I kind of like wanted to be by myself or just not to be so like in such a stimulated environment, if that makes sense. Another con, aside from the food not being that good, was that I felt like Carnival nickel and dimes you. So they get you with their rates being super affordable. I think for a family of three, because it was me and my two children, their dad stayed in a room with his sister because they booked by pairs. So he booked in a room with his sister. He stayed with us, but he booked the room with his sister. So for a family of three, I want to say it came to like 2,100. I want to say 22, something like that. Which isn't bad at all. Very affordable, and the kids did not have their passports, so they were still able to travel. That's the one good thing about cruising. You can travel with just your birth certificate, and you're able to go to different locations, different countries, and things like that in one trip. I like that. However, the con to it is that you don't have a lot of time. So by the time we did get off the ship and we ported, we were kind of like in a rush, to try to do as much as you could do. So you really didn't get to take in the areas that we visited. Jamaica, we were there for about 8 hours. And so we enjoyed ourselves there. We didn't feel too rushed. Our daughter was sick. We'll talk about that later in the video. But for that trip, we did what we sought out to do there. But I would have enjoyed to be able to spend more time at these places. And then they also, like, you can get a cab or a shuttle, off the port and make your way around town. But a lot of things, like the shuttles, they take you to touristy attractions. And Jamaica was pretty much the only place that we went that we were like far away from the tourist areas and other tourists, because we specifically told our driver, like, we want to go where the locals are. We want you to show us around where the locals live. Take us to the local spots. So we did go to like some shops and stuff where the tourists, shop at. But other than that, we were at like a private beach. We just supported like a lot of the small businesses there. But for the most part, they just take you to like tourist attractions. So like in Cozumel, for example, when we got off and we were on the port, a lot of the vendors were selling like NFL gear. And I'm like, why do I want to come to Cozumel to buy a Patriots jersey? Like, why do I want to buy NFL stuff? We can get that here in the States. So I didn't get that. That was weird to me. And we didn't have a lot of time there at all. I think we got to Cozumel, I want to say at like 10:30, and we had to be back on the ship by 6, I think it was. I don't remember, but it wasn't a lot of time at all. So I was just kind of like, to that. So we got on one of those little like bikes where they drive you around, and we asked if they could take us off the port. And we didn't go far at all. We literally like went right across the street, and we went to the spot called Alberto's, and then we just walked, like literally walked 500 feet, if that, to like the vendors. So by the time we got to Cozumel, I think we were just kind of like burned out, over it, ready to go home. And we were just kind of like, all right, let's just see a little something and then let's just go back. One, we didn't have time to really do much. We didn't want to go too far because we didn't have a lot of time there. So it was just kind of one of them like, So we made the most of it, but that's one of the other things that I really didn't enjoy, is that you get to the locations and you really can't take it in and really get a good experience because you're not there long enough. So you feel like you have to rush, you know what I mean? Your activities and things like that. Versus if you were to fly to the location and stay, you can kind of take in the culture and take your time. That's the difference. Another thing is that, like, back to the whole like nickel and diming, I just feel like they get you with the prices being so cheap to actually like book the cruise. But then on the cruise, they nickel and dime you. So like the Wi-Fi package was absurd. If you wanted Wi-Fi for the week, I think it was almost like $1,000 for our family, or like multiple devices, one person. It was ridiculous. It was like $35 a day. If you wanted the drink package, it was like 5 something for the whole time. You can have 15 drinks a day. Now that I would say is worth it. For one person, maybe not, unless you are a real serious drinker. So I don't drink that much, so I would never buy the drink package. But if you were like in a room by yourself and then you had a friend in another room and you all went in on the drink package together, or just that friend got the drink package and just shared the drinks with you, then that's one thing. It makes sense. So in our situation, we didn't get the drink package because I'm not a drinker like that. However, my friend Angie got the drink package. She wasn't in my room, and she was the only adult in her room. So because you don't drink, she didn't drink nearly 15 drinks a day. She was able to share her drinks out. So she would either order us drinks or we would just take her room card and go get drinks. So, I mean, there was no pushback with that at all. And they took a picture, so they had her picture when they scanned her card, but there was like no pushback. So I think that's one of the things that they're used to. But if there's 2 adults in a room and let's say one adult wants a drink and the other one doesn't, they make both adults get the damn drink package, because at that point they're like, we know y'all gonna share. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think that that's fair, because there are situations where one party may drink and the other does not. Like, that's very much so real. So that's another down part, but there's always a way around that. They had like the IMAX movie theater. They were playing a movie, and I wanted to take the kids to go see that. When I looked into it, it was $18 a person, and I'm like, why are y'all charging $18 for a movie? Like, this isn't a real IMAX theater. Like, we're not at IMAX. We're on the ship. You know what I'm saying? It just, I don't know. I just kind of felt like they just nickel and dimed you. Another thing I didn't like is when you buy the liquor. So I highly suggest, if you're gonna buy anything from like the shops, do not buy anything until the second to last day on the ship. Why? Because if you buy like the first couple days, you're paying regular price. But like the second to last day of the ship, when you're getting ready to debark, the prices dropped tremendously. So they had watches, they had the Invicta watches on sale. They were like 60, 70% off. They had alcohol on sale. So, for example, my fiance bought 2 bottles of, I forgot the name of the alcohol he got. I'll leave it across the screen, but he bought 2 bottles, and they sold each bottle to him for $60 a bottle. And the second to last day, they had two for 60. So basically he paid $120 for 2 bottles, $60 each. But the second to last day, he only ended up paying, well, my mom ended up getting 2 bottles, the same exact ones, and she paid $30 a bottle. So I thought that was kind of like a slap in the face, because I'm like, dang, y'all literally cut the price in half, and the same people are on the ship. I think that's kind of messed up. But yeah, so I highly suggest, don't buy anything in the shops. Just wait till the second to last day. Or even better, buy it on at the ports when you debark and you get off the ship. Buy all your alcohol there, because it's even cheaper. So that's what I would suggest. Um, but yeah, food definitely mediocre. Nothing to rave about. Um, a lot of people were getting sick. My entire family got sick except for me and my niece. It was crazy. Diarrhea, vomiting. There was a norovirus going around on the ship, which I guess is like a thing for cruises, and everybody was sick. Like, our whole floor one morning was vomiting. People were putting their sheets and stuff outside the door. It was horrible. So my son and fiance both got sick at the same time. Both of them were vomiting. Both of them had diarrhea. My daughter had it first. So yeah, it was hell. Okay. Um, the good thing about that though is it only lasted for my daughter about 2 days, where it kind of impairs you. But other than that, you know, uh, I'm just glad I didn't get it, because literally throwing up and vomiting at the same time. Yeah. So it was called the norovirus. That was a thing going around. Some people were complaining about the food, the seafood not being like as fresh, just because, we're on the ship for so many days, and we're like, okay, y'all didn't just get this food fresh. I don't really think that they're freezing it, just because people are eating so much, so they don't have time for it to thaw out. So I think they're just like keeping like seafood and stuff on ice. So I don't know, y'all. I'm just thankful I didn't get sick. I did have some of the seafood. I had a little bit of everything just to see what was what, but I don't know. I kind of tried my best to fill up like my stomach when we got off the ship, and then just picked here and there on the ship, because the food just was not it for me. I did, however, pick up 5 pounds. So when I was like, I wonder how people gain weight on cruises because the food ain't good. Well, I know how I did, and it was because the only thing that was good to me were the French fries. Yeah. So everyone was all over this guy's burger spot. I tried it, very greasy. I didn't like it. The line was always long though, and I was just like, ugh. So I had like a couple bites, and then that was it. Other than that, I just had the fries and like pizza. So that's how I picked up the weight, just because it was like a lot of pasta, breads, and just but yeah, y'all. I don't know. I don't think I would enjoy another 7 day cruise for sure. Definitely a 4 day. I probably could do that because I think on the fourth day I'm just kind of like just like over it. Like, all right, I'm done, ready to go. But other than that, financially, if you have a big family and you want, the kids to just get out and see, um, get a change of environment, experiences, and things like that, then yeah, definitely. As far as the experience on the islands, like Jamaica, the cultures, love Jamaica down, always will be one of my favorite top travel destinations. Um, Very welcoming. I just love the culture, everything. Cayman Island, same thing. We had a really good experience. The people on the island were very nice. Like the natives were super nice, very friendly. Food was amazing. We had their oxtail. We went to like the 7 Mile Beach. We had their oxtail, the rice and peas. It was really, really good. The island is very clean, very, very clean, y'all. I can't say the same for Jamaica, unfortunately. That's one of the things that they have a very hard time with. Is there's a lot of trash on the grounds in Jamaica, and then Cozumel, very friendly, very nice. Obviously, they speak, their language, and so there was a language barrier there because the English is broken and it's really bad. So there was a little bit of like, would you say? Can you repeat yourself? But other than that, super friendly, really good time. But we weren't there long enough to really experience the cultures. But I've been to Mexico before, and I've had a really good time in Cancun. So I say it would be the same. But other than that, you guys, I would say if you have never cruised, give it a shot. I don't have motion sickness, thank God. A lot of people on the ship did. So the first day we were leaving, it was very, very rocky. Like we were just, that boat was moving and shaking. I think it was because it was windy, but yeah, it was a bit much. But if you have motion sickness, they do have like bands, stickers you could put behind your ears, or people wearing all kinds of things to help them out. They had a nightclub on the ship. That was cool. The only thing I didn't like though is the nightclub opened at 12:30 and it closed at 2. And I'm like, what is that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. That was kind of whack. But then, like I said, after like the third night, it was whack anyway because you're partying with the same people over and over and over again. It was just getting on my nerves. Like, I was just like, ah. And then I think people started to get very comfortable. And this is why I say it felt like after a while we were all in one big house because people were coming downstairs wearing their head bonnets. Their head bonnets, their pajamas, slippers. I mean, the whole nine. And I'm just like, what are we doing here? It literally felt like everyone was coming out of their bedrooms and coming into the kitchen to eat, and that was like the main deck. And I'm just like, what's going on? Like it was very much giving ghetto after a while. Another thing is that although Carnival is known to be like a family friendly cruise line, and that's cool and all, the culture is fun. It's like a party ship, and I do like that. People are very cool, whatever. However, there are children on the ship, right? And there were just, women walking around in their thong bikinis, butt cheeks hanging all out, boobs hanging all out, and I'm like, there's children on the ship, y'all. Like, this is an Virgin cruise. So, they're, but, that's my take on it, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I wish I can come on here and be like, yeah, so much fun, book your crew, blah, blah, blah. But I'm just like, look, okay, look at your own. So that's it. That's my experience on Carnival Cruise. Would I recommend? Yeah, if you just want to experience it. Like if you've never cruised before, you want to experience it, you want to get away, take your children with you, your family, whatever, for an affordable vacation. If you're not a super picky eater, things like that, then yes. The ship that we went on was the Horizon. They had slides for the kids, pools, whatever, all of that stuff. I didn't get on any of that because it was a little chilly. They did have a spa though that I absolutely loved, and I do wish I could have partook in that a little more and just went there more. But that was like my only like peace and sanity on the ship because I didn't have a balcony just because of my daughter. I was just paranoid with the balcony, but I did sit on my friend's balcony and my sister's balcony for a little bit, so that was nice. So if you get like a balcony, then you'll be fine. If you're the type that needs to like get away from the crowd sometimes and just woosah. But the spa was it for me, and it had like the whirlpool. It had like a quiet lounge where you can like get coffee, tea, water, and just kind of relax. It had a eucalyptus room, I think it was, a sauna, steam room, red light room, whatever, for like your bones, like healing and stuff. You know what I'm talking about? Um, and then of course you can get like massages and all of that, so they have like packages for that stuff. But like I said, the first 2 days everything is going to be regular price. As the ship you sail on and days go, everything drops. So if you don't think that you need the spot every single day and you might want to do it like 3 days, 4 days, then get it halfway through. I got the deal for like $100 when it was normally like 170, I want to say, or something like that. So, you know, but that is my experience. That's pretty much it. But if you guys have any questions or anything, drop them in the comments. I'll be more than happy to answer them for you guys. If you have a trip coming up and it's your first time, just go with an open mind, be optimistic, and just, be open to the experience, the good and the bad, you know what I mean? Okay? But definitely bring things that you may need, medicine, Tylenol, things for stomach aches, headaches, just be prepared to possibly get sick, even if you get sick because of motion sickness. It's a real thing on these cruises. But they do have nurses and everything downstairs at the very bottom of the ship, so that's cool. But that's really it. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new, don't forget to hit the subscribe button before you go, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.